welcome to Tim's Chefy Tips. Now tonight I'm doing a veal chop. Now this is pink veal, so this is a young calf up to a year old, between 8 months to 12 months old. They're fed on milk and grass and grain. Right now I've got this veal, I bought it online from a company in Devon, Devon Meat Company. It comes from a farm and they sell other meats, so if you want to go on to Google and have a look at them. So if you come here, this is the veal chop here. As you can see, there's the bone. And I'm just going to cook this simply. I've got some rosemary and thyme and some sage. And then I love garlic, so I'm going to put quite a bit of garlic in it. So I'm going to salt and pepper the chop, rub some olive oil into it, and then put it into a really hot pan. Once I've sealed it, I'm going to put some butter in it and put all the flavour in, the rosemary, the thyme, the sage, and of course the garlic. And then I'm going to do a little reduction with some butter and some French red wine. So now it's time for me to salt and pepper the veal. There's nothing like the smell of fresh pepper. A little bit of salt. This is sea salt. Pepper comes from Madagascar. And then we do some more, like that. And then I've got the pan on. I've got a red hot pan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it straight into that. So while the chop's in the frying pan, I've got the flavour in here, so I'm just crushing the garlic. There's nothing like the garlic, and that releases the oil and we get more of the flavour to it. So I'm just bashing it with the back of my hand. I've cut the cloves of garlic in half. And then once the steak is sealed, or rather the veal chop is sealed, of course you can do this with steak as well, I'm going to put in the herbs and of course the garlic. That's it. I'm going to turn it over. So just so you've got an idea, that is sealed. We cook the veal chop as we would do a steak. So I'll probably cook this around about medium. Okay, chop's going well. So I'm going to start putting this into the frying pan. And then all the garlic. And now I'm going to get some butter. We're going to be a little bit generous here. In goes the butter. And then with my spoon there, I'm going to move it around and baste it, and we get all the flavour of the butter and the herbs all going into the meat. Oh, look at this is absolutely amazing. It's a shame you can't smell it. I'm going to turn the fire down a shade, and you get the smell of the rosemary, the thyme, and of course the garlic. I don't want to burn the garlic because that will go bitter, so I'm moving it around like that. And then I'll turn the chop, I keep on calling it steak because this is what you could do with steak, and I'm doing the same there. And keep it moving around, and you get that lovely butter there. And keep it going, keep it moving. You can't walk away from this. Wow. There we go. That's a little bit of paste in there. I'm just going to put my finger on it. It's feeling slightly firm, so I reckon that is round about rare at the moment, so I'm going to keep it going for a little bit longer. Turn the chop over. It actually smells amazing. Right, okay, so that's the veal chop there. I'm going to leave that to rest. And now, you see what we've got in the frying pan here? Right, I'm going back onto the cooker with that. And I'm going to put a little bit of wine in that. And I'm just going to reduce it down a little bit. Butter in there. You take all that all the juices from there, and then you just keep it moving around. That's it, and then I'm going to strain this off over the top of the veal chop, which has now been resting. So we just leave that there. If we come over to the veal chop, we've got the bone that runs down. I want to take it there. Right, you can cut, like I said, this is like steak, so you can cut it, cook it to however you want. This is rare, and then I'm going to slice it. Now, it's okay for slicing steak or veal chop. I wouldn't suggest you do it with fillet, because then it bleeds all over the place. And then we'll do that. Okay. So I've sliced the veal chop. Now I'm presenting it now on my plate. A little bit of garnish there, and then I'm going to put the sauce over the top. Okay, this is the pan fry, herby and garlicky and a little bit of red wine and butter. Veal chop from Devon. Enjoy.